Alright, hello. Good evening, everybody. So, um, I left it up to viewers to determine which Ace Attorney game I was going to do next, whether it was going to be um, the Miles Edgeworth spin-off or the Great Ace Attorney, which just recently came out here. But I guess this one was the one that won. Ace Attorney Investigations, Miles Edgeworth, a spin-off of the series, starring our favorite edgelord prosecutor. There is a second game. There's a second one of these as well, but unfortunately that one did not get an official international release. Oh. Fragilities, thank you for the follow. Anyways, that one didn't get an official international release, though there is a fan translation floating around. So I hope to play that one eventually as well. The Great Ace Attorney also did not get an official international release the first time around. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started on this. Looking forward to getting into another Ace Attorney game. The ones I've played have been excellent so far. Okay, Episode 1, Turnabout Visitor. March 14th, 1:16 a.m. Question marks. To make sure the defendant is found guilty, what other choice do I have? That's the job of a prosecutor, after all. That may be true, but why? Why go this far? Who are these two? That does look like Edgeworth's office, though. Sorry, maybe I wasn't clear enough, but a guilty verdict is all that matters to me. No matter what the cost. Ooh. I am a prodigy among prosecutors. Always have been, always will be. It's hard to believe that I've been away from my office for a whole month. I hope Detective Gumshoe's been keeping an eye on my office, and keeping it clean. The door's unlocked. Detective Gumshoe? What's the smell? It's very familiar. Blood? What the? A body has been discovered. What's the meaning of this? Freeze. Uh-oh. Oh, now they're gonna think he did it. Identify yourself. Shut up. You've got some nerve committing murder in a prosecutor's office. The heck? Is that a threat? Let me make one thing very clear. What? No one gets away with committing murder in my office. No one. My name is Miles Edgeworth, and I work as a prosecutor in my local district. Little did I know that upon my return home after a month abroad, I would be thrust into a magnitude of cases, and some very frantic and busy days. March 14th, 2:56 a.m. I finished photographing the victim's body, sir. Very well. Please continue your investigation. Yes, sir. Ah! Oh. Hey, Dick. Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Are you okay, sir? Keep it down, detective. This is a crime scene. When I heard that a murder had taken place in your office, I ran up here straight away! This is Dick Gumshoe. He's a detective with the local precinct, and the one they assigned to handle this murder case for the time being. You're looking a little pale, sir. Are you hurt? No, I'm perfectly fine. However... Ah! Look what they did to your office! It's totally trashed! I'll say, the culprits sullied my floor with dirt rather well. No one gets away with tracking mud into my office. Whoa, sounds like you're getting really burned up over the whole thing! This crime was committed in my office, so it's my responsibility to solve it. Oh, that's just like you, Mr. Edgeworth. Okay, time to do some investigating. Agreed. Our first course of action is to gather relevant facts and leads. We must not overlook anything, no matter how small, if we're to find the truth. So I'll keep any leads or information we find etched in the forefront of my mind. Speaking of things that pique my curiosity, why of all places did the murder occur in my office? I get the nagging feeling that this is something important to keep in mind. Yeah, I was wondering that myself, sir. I mean, you can't really say it's just a coincidence, can you? No, not really. Especially because of this. The key to your office! For security reasons, this office's door has a lock built into it. What do you mean, sir? If you think about it carefully and use logic, it should become clear to you. Logic? Yeah, Columbo here isn't too familiar with that word. By finding the connection between two pieces of information and connecting them, new information is born. That is the end result of using logic. So how do you use it? How did this guy become a detective? First, I recall information through the logic button, and then connect them together. Now to touch the logic button and recall the facts. Okay, we're getting our little tutorial here then as to how investigations work in this. For security reasons, all prosecutors' doors are outfitted with locks. Makes sense. Which means it would have been hard for the murderer and the victim to get in here. That's a good point. How'd they get in here in the first place, then? Ergo, it's impossible to dismiss the location of this crime as mere coincidence. Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking, sir. There must be a reason why someone infiltrated my room. What was the killer after? You're really on the ball today, Mr. Edgeworth. That's some beautiful logic, sir. Yes, well, when you follow leads to their conclusion, only the truth remains. However, if the information doesn't line up properly, I may stray far from the truth as well. But if I think carefully before piecing leads together, the logic should flow. Well, let's get started with our investigation, shall we? Yes, sir! Okay. The basis of any good investigation is to examine everything, sir. I know that. And when I want to examine something, I simply touch the examine button. Oh, if you ever feel lost and want to talk, just push the partner button, okay? I'll give you great, precise advice as an ace investigator, sir. Something to try later if I have free time, I suppose. Okay. So, he has a fancy badge, too. The victim in this case. Why was he killed in my office? Yeah. And for the time being, he's a John Doe. Okay. Do you have anything to report? Sir, yes, sir. Nothing out of the ordinary right now, sir. And yet there's something out of the ordinary right in front of my eyes. Yeah, I see it too. Talk about a contradiction. Something out of the ordinary, huh? I should look around a bit more. What have we here? Could this perhaps be the murder weapon? Huh. So the killer dropped it here before he left? If so, it would mean that the killer made their escape after disposing of their gun here. I think I've seen one of these before. Care to enlighten me as to where? Oh, I know! I was issued the exact same model, I think. Detective. I don't really like guns all that much. I mean, they're really dangerous. But now that I think about it, you do see this model around the precinct a lot, sir. I don't use mine much, except in emergencies, so that's why I didn't recognize it. So it's the same type of revolver as the ones used by the precinct's detectives. Ouch! They even knocked over your chess set! I had it all set up, ready for when you got back. I figured we could play a few games. I had no idea you were interested in chess. I'm actually pretty good at checkers, so I thought I'd give chess a try. In that case, I suppose we can set some time aside after we solve this case. Though I don't expect the games to tax my mental acuity much. finished photographing the body, so it should be alright to examine this area. Okay. Guess we'll investigate the body then. I won't rest until I've inspected every suspicious-looking nook and cranny. Is this his wallet? What do we have here? Hey, I think I've seen one of these before. It's a police badge. Detective. Oh, hey, I have the exact same thing, actually. What a coinky-dink. Let's take a look inside. Buddy Faith, detective. It would appear our victim was a detective, just like you. I seem to have gathered a few pieces of pertinent information. Now to calmly use some logic and figure out if any of them are connected to each other. So I think the gun wasn't the killer's, it was his gun. The revolver, the standard model used by detectives. Could it have belonged to our recently departed? Detective Gumshoe, could you please thoroughly check the victim's body one more time? Yes, sir. On it now, sir. Excuse me, pal. Let's see. What do we got here? Mr. Edgeworth, sir. This guy's wearing a gun holster. So it appears that our killer somehow managed to take the victim's gun from him. Are you gonna be okay with keeping track of the evidence we find, sir? Of course. This is the safest way I know to keep track of it all. Alright, if you say so. I keep all the evidence I find either in or with my organizer. When I want to re-examine a piece, I have but to touch the organizer button. The organizer isn't only for evidence. I keep people's profiles on hand in it too. It's probably a good idea to make a habit of checking the facts often. Let's see what else we can find out about this revolver. As I always say, you gotta look really carefully at each piece of evidence. You can use the scroll wheels to rotate an object. There's no such thing as a bad angle. Use the slide bar or the X and Y arrows to zoom in and out. Get the nitty-gritty. It looks like only one round was fired from this. Wow, so the killer killed the victim with just one shot after wrestling the gun from him. Sounds like the guy knew to handle a gun, huh, Mr. Edgeworth? We have no proof for now, but that's a distinct possibility. Mr. Faith's holster. Bet he never thought he'd be killed by his own gun. Yeah, shot down by the very thing that's supposed to protect the people. I just can't get over that, sir. It's not right. We're gonna get the killer for this. Maybe it's because the victim is a fellow detective. And for a second, Gumshoe sounded even more detective-like than usual. Let's give the body a once-over. There's blood all over his lower abdominal area. Looks like the bullet passed clean through his stomach area, sir. In In other words, he was shot. Well, doy. Yeah, but until the autopsy's done, I don't think we'll know much more than that. Please have the body sent to the morgue once they're done processing the crime scene. Clean through the victim's abdomen. The body was found at around 2:05 a.m. What about this? Your files are all over the floor, sir. They probably fell during the struggle between the victim and his killer. I tried so hard to keep this place spotless while you were away. And this has just rendered all the time and effort I put in pointless. I don't recall ever asking you to clean my room. Well, I water the flowers every day, just like you requested, sir. I just add clean to the list as a weekend special. For about half a day every Saturday, I'd come in and clean this place until it sparkled. Does he have a life? I guess this is about all we're gonna find out. We should send the body to Jim! Huh? Why? Why? How could this have happened to a guy like you? Are you alright? Don't touch me! Leave me alone! Just let me be! Sorry, but I can't do that. The investigation is still ongoing, so please refrain from touching the body. The body? The body? Don't talk about him like he's just some lump of flesh. Look at him. Jim looks like he's just turned in for the night. Sure, just in a blood-stained suit, pal. Oh, that's him, isn't it? That's the killer. Mr. Gold Medal guy. Where are my manners? Aren't you that prosecutor? Why, yes I am. I'm Jacques Portsman, prosecutor. Jim here was my partner in crime busting. I'm Miles Edgeworth, and like you, I'm also a prosecutor. Detective Dick Gumshoe, sir. So you're Miles Edgeworth. I guess this is your office. Yes, that's correct. That it was you! You're the one who killed Jim! Hey, don't go around jumping to conclusions, pal. Just calm down, okay? I will not. I know how things work around here. High prosecutor's office doors all have locks built into them. And the owner of the office has the key to his or her own office door. That is correct. However, I was not the one who killed your partner. Yeah, Mr. Edgeworth has been overseas on a business trip this whole time, pal. And the key to the door was with me the entire time, okay? So the only one who could get in here was me. Dick, do you realize what you just said? Wait, that means... I'm not sure what that means. You just said that you could have killed him, then. So it was you, then. You're Jim's killer. No way, pal. You got it all wrong. Everyone calm down. Mr. Portsman, correct? If you're a real prosecutor, you should know how to stay collected. The investigation has only just begun. Isn't it too early to be drawing conclusions? Alright, I get the point. You're right, my mistake. I tend to get a little too hot-headed sometimes. You sure are one cool customer, though, Mr. Edgeworth. I've heard all the rumors about you. You're the great genius prosecutor. You're something of a legend, you know. Anyway, let's call a truce and work together, okay? Now, how about a handshake to seal the deal? A pleasure to work with you. He just leaves him hanging. You guys were conducting your own investigation, right? Sorry for barging in like that. Carry on, then. It's your room, after all. Thank you. I intend to. I just want a little more time to say goodbye to Jim. You there. Sir. I want you to capture the scene on film for me. What? My final farewell to my partner, Jim. You want a selfie with the body. Are you kidding me? I should probably give him some space. Okay, but now oh, wait. Can we, Oh, it's a trophy. The, Knight of Prosecutors, right? Yep, from... That was a, key piece of evidence way back in the first game. King of Prosecutors. And it's not a trophy, it's a shield. They only send this to the winning prosecutor, right? Yes. But I have no real interest in the perceived worth of other people. As for my own worth, that is something only I can determine for myself. That's so slick, sir! I'm gonna have to try saying that sometime. Unfortunately for him, his monetary worth is tied directly to his worth to me. Ah, your jacket, sir! What's it doing on the floor? It must have fallen off the wall when the killer tried to threaten me by firing around. Wait, that's right. The gun was fired... The killer... Wait, so... That must have been a different gun. Because we saw that the gun we found was only fired once. But 2 shots were fired. So the killer not only shot the victim, but they shot your jacket as well? They dared to shoot the ultra special jacket you made your prosecutorial debut in? What if they shot through it? It would have been a disaster. It's not worth getting worked up over, Detective. Not when there's something more here. Huh? Like what? I take it you haven't noticed it yet, Detective. There's a giant contradiction right here in front of us. Yep, Edgeworth definitely sees it too. Really? Did I say contradiction? He must be rubbing off on me. I'm starting to sound like him. Phoenix. But I have my own methods, and I will conduct this investigation my way. When the scene before me contradicts a piece of evidence or seems off, that's when my deductive skills come into play. First, I have to find the spot that holds the contradiction. This is it. This bullet hole is where the contradiction lies. When I spot something's off, I should touch the deduce button with conviction. And when I found sufficient proof to prove the contradiction, I present it. This is how I do things. Exactly. Eureka! He has... Okay, rather than got it. This bullet hole is the contradiction. What do you mean, sir? It's elementary. 2 shots were fired in this room. The first felled the victim. And the second felled this frame. Hey, that's right! However, this gun was only fired once. That's true too. Which means that one of these 2 bullets was fired from a different gun. Did the killer have another gun prepared for tonight? By the way, I noticed something, sir. Yes? What's that thing sticking out from behind the frame? Ah, that. It's a secret safe. Ah, the old safe behind the painting cliché. A secret safe? Oh, I smell money! I'll spare us the trouble and just say it. Nothing like what you're imagining is inside. Now, if you could kindly move this frame out of the way. Roger that! Talk about dusty! I suppose that's what happens when I'm not here to dust it once in a while. I had no idea there was a safe here, or I'd have kept it clean for you, sir. So when did you put this thing in? It wasn't something I had installed personally. Every prosecutor's office has one. Really? I had no idea. Well, only prosecutors are supposed to have knowledge of their existence. So what's inside, Mr. Edgeworth? Right now, nothing. We only use them to score especially important evidence when a trial's in session. That's it? Talk about squashing my hopes and dreams. I won't rest until I miss. Okay. The keypad for the combination. Now this is odd. You found something, sir? This keypad. Don't you find it to be a bit too clean? Yeah, there's a thick layer of dust all around it, but not on the keypad itself. You there, the forensic scientist. Yes, sir. Could you please dust this area for fingerprints? You got it, sir. I see, so either the killer or the victim was trying to get into the safe. I couldn't find, let alone lift, a single print. Looks like it was wiped down well. As I thought. It appears logic is the only way around this setback. Time to rationally and calmly play connect the dots with the information we have. What was the killer after? Probably whatever was in the safe. I believe I figured out what the murderer was after. Well, what is it, sir? The fact that the safe was wiped clean of fingerprints suggests that the criminal had at least attempted to open my safe. making the culprit's motive for breaking and entering theft, I believe. I wonder if knowing that the motive behind this break-in was theft changes what the other pieces of information can tell me about this crime. My files were a mess. So the killer was looking for something in his office. And maybe that's why the files are in disarray. There's a possibility that the files splayed on the floor are not the result of a struggle between the victim and his killer. Oh! You mean like it could be from when the killer tried to find something, sir? Precisely. We need to figure out if any of the files have been stolen. Yes, sir! I'm gonna shelf files like you've never seen before, even in a library. Sure. Let's give that a try. Why do all the good ones always die young? Surely you must ponder that every once in a while, Mr. Edgeworth. Yeah, your cornball act isn't fooling anybody. No matter how much we lament, the dead will not come back to life. All we can do is search for the truth. And? So what are we supposed to do? How do we go about finding the truth? First, we calmly restore the files to their rightful place. You got it. Here, let me help. So this file goes here, and that book goes there. You sure know a lot about where things go, despite it being Mr. Edgeworth's office. Because I'm the one who keeps it tidy, pal. Okay, done. It would appear that the murder was definitely committed here. I'm noting those bloody handprints. I wonder if they mean something significant. And I also see one has a bullet hole in it. The bloodstains on the bookshelf are still fresh. I suspect the victim was killed in a standing position, hence the prints on the shelf. And then the guy fell on the floor, right? The blood on the floor is kind of grossing me out. Detective, I don't have the time to deal with your weak stomach right now. No, but you know I'm no good with blood, sir. I'm certain there's something wrong with this picture. Yeah. So this is where the bullet lodged itself after it went through the victim, huh? For the bullet to be lodged so squarely in a file spine indicates the files were ransacked after the shooting had occurred. Then I guess the victim was moved because he was in the killer's way. Is this spot somehow connected to any of the evidence I hold? Yeah, if it went through his abdomen, it's much too low to the ground.
Eureka!
clearly a contradiction here with this bullet hole. What do you mean, sir? You don't see. Excuse me. Quite simply, the bullet hole itself is too low. If the victim was shot in the stomach, the hole should be much higher up. But what if the guy was shot while he was sitting or lying down, sir? Hello, Foxy. Welcome to the stream. And thank you for the follow. That would be illogical. The victim leaned against this shelf here after being shot. Which suggests that he was standing when he was shot. Then that means... Wait, what does that mean, sir? It means you need to use your brain every once in a while instead of mine, detective. In any case, it means someone made a faulty assumption. And it was from this mistake that our current contradiction was born. What is the faulty assumption that caused this problem? The order of the files, I would suppose. I believe the order of the files is a bit off. You mean I put them back in the wrong order just now? Hey, actually, I think the labels on the files are wrong, sir. Oh. Yeah, you see here how the files that were shot began with the number 0? What are those doing all the way down here after 1, 2, and 3? That's really weird. Actually, the way they're organized now is the correct order. They're exactly as I see them in my mind's eye. But the numbers are all out of order. Those white binders are special, so they're arranged a little differently. But from this we know the files were not in this order when the crime occurred. Aha, so that's it. So they had already gone through the files before and put them back in the wrong order. I believe the killer made the same incorrect assumption as you just did, Detective. Oh yes. I've already done those games on stream as well. Let's rearrange the files in numerical order and see what we find out. Do you think it'd be okay to prop the body back up to how it was before it was moved? They finished processing the crime scene, so I don't see why it wouldn't be. If you please, Detective Gumshoe. As I suspected, the bullet hole is now where it should logically be. Ooh. Ooh, and I see letters over there. The killer went through my files first before shooting Mr. Faith. And then put the files back in numerical order, I guess. Exactly. And then proceeded to shoot the victim. But why would someone kill a man and then look through your files one more time? Puzzling indeed. The files were thrown into disarray twice. Once before and once after the crime. But why? Now the crime scene is as it was at the time of the murder. Time to give it another look. Yeah. This... What is that? Why does it say gumshoe on there in blood? Yes, speaking of Danganronpa, starting to see a very similar callback, or maybe call forward to the first case from that one. Yes, indicative of criminal activity indeed. A name spelled out in blood, backwards because of the way they're slumped against the wall. No, wait, there's got to be some mistake! Mr. Edgeworth, sir, help me! Say something, sir! It appears that one of my files was stolen. Is that all, sir? What about me and my situation? Is this what the killer was really after? Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer. Looks like Jim was able to leave us the name of his killer in the end. And this most important message managed to reach us. I'm telling you, it wasn't me! You can't be terribly pleased to hear that your beloved partner is the guilty party. If you're going to accuse Detective Gumshoe of being the culprit, I sincerely hope you have some proof to back it up. Jim's words, they mean more than enough, wouldn't you say? If that's how you want to play it, then at least allow me to understand your reasoning. You got it! I don't like this one bit. There's something strange about this man's attitude. And there must be some sort of flaw in his logic waiting for me to dig out. Mr. Edgeworth, what are you gonna do? What I always do in court. I'm going to cross-examine him. One way or another, I'll expose the flaw in his logic with this technique. Oh, how do you do that? Can you explain to me, sir? Actually, with this sweet-ass music, going, give me a few minutes, and, I'll take a quick break, and I'll